And we now welcome in Vikings quarterback Kirk Cousins. Thanks for joining us, Kirk. It was your teammate and standout rookie Justin Jefferson who has helped make the Griddy touchdown dance popular. Earlier this season, he joined our Bryant McFadden and Patrick Peterson on their podcast, All Things Covered, where B-Mac had a special request. Take a listen.
Is it possible for you to get Kirk Cousins involved in the Griddy? Can you attempt to make that happen for us?
I can try.
All right, so Kirk, did Justin just say, hey, to you, I need to see that Griddy touchdown dance from you?
I told him several weeks before that if I were to run for a touchdown, I would gladly do the Griddy, but I couldn't do it after throwing one. And after watching him and Adam and others do it all season long, finally, week 17, I got in there on a quarterback sneak, and Justin was sprinting to me saying, you got to do it. And so there it was. And I'm only disappointed that our offensive line didn't join me. So next year, I want to do it again, but get the entire offensive line behind me doing it too.
Did you practice that at all? Because, I mean, that looked flawless to me.
Well, I appreciate that. I think there's some room for improvement on it, but yeah, I may have thrown it out once or twice at a Wednesday or Thursday practice to make sure I knew what I was doing if, in fact, the quarterback sneak crossed the line.
Adam Thielen also did the Griddy dance. Who did the dance better, you or Adam?
You know, I haven't studied the tape, so I can't give a great answer here. We got it right now.
Yeah.
I think I blow him away. I mean, he doesn't have as much knee bend. I'm more of the true fundamental. Adam kind of is going off doing his own thing, but he's the guy who gave me the confidence to step in and do it. So I got to give him credit for that.
Hey, when you're done playing, and I know you got a long ways to go in your NFL career, you can come join us here at CBS Sports because I love the analysis, the Griddy touchdown dance, as well as your NFL analysis as well. In addition to the Griddy dance, you've had, of course, some viral moments like when you shouted, you like that. One thing I know you'll like is this stat. Since 2015, you're the only player with 6 seasons of at least 25 touchdown passes. What does that mean to you?
Well, I think it's just important to be consistent, and this league will challenge you and test you, and you can have a good week or a good stretch or a good season, but to be able to come back year after year, I think is so important and something I prioritize in the way I try to take care of my body and the way I try to work week in and week out. And so, you know, hopefully we can make it a 7th season next year, but it's important to stay healthy, and it's a violent game, and I do think a big part of that statistic is just making sure you're out there every single Sunday ready to go.
One of the guys that, of course, helped you this season, Justin Jefferson, he joined us on Wednesday. He had high praise for you, giving you credit for helping him have the season he had. His 1,400 receiving yards set the NFL record for most receiving yards by a rookie wideout in the Super Bowl era. What was it like throwing the ball to him, and how would you describe your connection with him?
Yeah, football is such a team game, and I'd say right back at him. You know, the success that I was able to have, or that our offense was able to have, largely was due to just him stepping up as a rookie and being a dynamic player from the first day and all the way through the season. Our coaches did a great job getting him the football, getting him caught up to speed. He did a great job in a very unique year without an off-season program to be able to learn our offense quickly and step right in and be our starting X and make play after play. So it was just a tremendous draft pick. We're so happy to have him as a teammate and as a player in our organization, and hopefully we'll be able to play together for a long time. And when you pair him with Adam Thielen, it makes for a great, 1-2 combo, a wide receiver, and, certainly puts me in a great position throwing the football.
You've certainly had the luxury of throwing to some great receivers. What's the potential? What's the NFL ceiling for Justin Jefferson?
Well, I believe he set the rookie record for receiving yards, so that tells you really the trajectory he's on. He can do it all. He's got tremendous run after the catch. He tracks the football really well, strong hands. He's a smart football player. He's a natural wide receiver, and it's going to come down to staying healthy. It's going to come down to how defenses choose to defend him now going forward, and I think it also comes down to having that other receiver that puts pressure on defenses that they have to focus on so that Justin can continue to get one-on-one matchups. But he's got all the tools you need, and hopefully I can be the one throwing to him for many years up ahead.
Kirk, not the season that you wanted to have overall at 7-9. What's the message to Vikings fans going into next season?
Well, we got thinned out with injuries. We lost a lot of defensive backs early in the year. It was amazing as we got further in the year. It was hard to believe you could lose more defensive backs, but we did. And Danielle Hunter, arguably the best football player on our team, we didn't have for a single game. So you point to several of these guys who make such a big difference and not having them hurt. So I'm optimistic that we'll get them back healthy and be ready to go next season. And, Justin being in year 2, Adam Thielen still being himself, Dalvin Cook's a tremendous talent. I'm excited about the pieces we have, and now we just got to find a way to get those inches at the end of games and be able to win those close games. And if you do that, I think we'll be right there with everybody else at the end of the year. Looking forward to meaningful playoff games in January.
All right, time now for the Geico 15-second statement, and hopefully in the future a Super Bowl appearance is there for you and the Vikings, Kirk. But as for this Super Bowl, who wins Super Bowl 55 in Tampa and why?
Well, I'm going to say the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. I feel like they really, have been the best team in pro football all season long. I don't see a reason to pick against them at this point. It's always tough to pick against Tom Brady in a Super Bowl. But I'm going to go with the Chiefs and Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes for really the obvious reasons. But it certainly will be fun to watch, as most Super Bowls are, and I'm always hoping for a close game.
Chiefs looking to become the first team to repeat since Brady's Patriots in 03 and 04. You're joining us on behalf of Sleep Number, and like you, I'm also a dad with 2 young kids. How does Sleep Number help you get a good night's rest so you can be rested and ready for the day?
Well, sleep is such a big part of being a professional football player. We've talked a lot the last couple of weeks about Tom Brady and what he's doing at 43 years old. I think he'd be the first to tell you that sleep and his discipline when it comes to sleep is a big reason for his longevity and his success on the field, and I'm no different. The ability to play 6 straight seasons like I have goes back to the disciplined sleep, not only the night before games, but all season long, all off season. And Sleep Number, partnering with Sleep Number has just been a tremendous advantage for me. I have a Sleep Number 360 smart bed, both in Minnesota and where we go in the off season. I use their app and get a Sleep IQ score every morning when I wake up, which will tell me objectively how I slept. And I use that data to make changes and try to prevent bad habits from developing so that I can have great sleep. And I really believe that each day builds on the next one, and I can keep stacking up those good nights of sleep. Hopefully I can be playing as long as Tom Brady has. So that's my goal. I'm only going into year 10, and in today's world in pro football, that's kind of young for a quarterback. So I'm hoping that with partnering with Sleep Number, I can continue to stack those years up and look back and still be playing in my late 30s, maybe even my early 40s. We'll see. Yeah, maybe one day we're talking about you, 43-year-old Kirk Cousins in the Super Bowl. That'd be pretty awesome. Hey, Kirk, thanks for joining us. Before I let you go, do you still have that old van that you had in Washington, D.C.? Absolutely. I'm not driving it as an everyday driver anymore, but it's still in the garage, and I'll bring it out from time to time. And I've got a few teammates, when they see it in the parking lot, they give me a really hard time, but I'm not going to part with it anytime soon.
Is that van in the heated garage?
It better be, because it's not going to start if it's not in a heated garage. So we definitely have to take care of it. It requires a little more maintenance these days now going on with it's been 20 years now that we've had it.
I need to get me one of those. I'll have to work with the bosses on my next contract to get myself a heated garage here, being in the state of Connecticut where it's chilly. Hey, Kirk, thanks for the time here, my friend. I appreciate it, and wish you the best next season.
My pleasure. Thanks, Hakem.
And hey, check out BMAC on his podcast, All Things Covered, joined by Cardinals corner Patrick Peterson. Their latest guest is Bucs linebacker Levante David. Hear the hilarious story about what Tom Brady said to a teammate after the NFC Championship. A must-listen. All Things Covered. Download and subscribe today.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.